the crisis in Cyprus has dominated market sentiment this week, and it looks as if it's likely to dominate it again next week. Andrea, Tryphonides and Sara Sjolin are here to look at the week ahead. Andrea, our resident Cypriot. Basically, it's amazing that the tiny little island both your parents were born on should command this amount of international attention. Look at it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't think I've heard the name Cyprus repeated so many times. So we've had a few updates today, haven't we? We know that the Cypriot politicians were trying to negotiate with the Russians. Mr. Medvedev said yesterday that no, there wouldn't be any kind of agreement, but it looks like today that maybe the approach is slightly softened. The issue is that the clock's ticking.
The clock's ticking because on Monday the European Central Bank says if we haven't got a deal by then to resolve your debt crisis, we pull the plug on the emergency lending.
Exactly, to the banks. So which is why everyone's getting a little bit nervous. However, saying that, you've been watching the markets as well, haven't you? We're not seeing a huge reaction in financial markets today. European equities are a little bit subdued.
It's nothing like when we had Greece in the headlines every day.
Exactly.
Very, very soft moves.
Exactly.
But
I think it's because it's a small country, and people keep on using this phrase. It's a unique situation, a special situation. However, we did say that about Greece, didn't we?
Absolutely.
So we should be careful using that phrase.
There's still that veneer of fear of contagion to the Italies and the Spains of this world.
Yes, analysts have certainly pointed out that there are contagion fears, but at the moment we seem to be dealing with them quite well. Yeah.
Briefly, I mean, Italy, of course, is still also hanging over the euro at the moment. Still no government there, Sara.
We almost forgot about Italy and talking about Cyprus so much. Still no government there, and we're not sure we're going to see any progress next week either.
Okay, the Fed. As you know, the Fed seems to be just hanging in there, steady as she goes policy. Actually, we have Bernanke in London on Monday, don't we, Sara?
Yeah, he's speaking at the London School of Economics, and it's always interesting to see what he's saying. Yep.
And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, we also have a slew of data. Nothing major, is there? But we should actually prove that he's right.
We have pending and new home sales, consumer confidence, durable goods, and the final fourth quarter GDP reading. So while some of the recent data has been suggested that the U.S. economic recovery is definitely moving along, growth from fourth quarter is still really low, around maybe 0.5%. Durable goods will probably be a little bit better. Pending home sales, new home sales could be mixed. So,
but then over in Japan, the data flow is probably not going to be that good, is it?
No. There hasn't really been signs of improvement that we were hoping for. We have seen the yen coming down a little bit, and the Japanese shares have reached multi-year highs.
New governor ready to go and aggressively ease monetary policy.
And this week he pledged to expand monetary easing as they really wanted to. He said he would buy larger and wider range of assets, and he said he wanted to push inflation up to the bank's 2% inflation target in 2 years. And from out here, that could be a little bit optimistic, but who knows? He seems really into moving the Japanese economy.
The issue is whether he stands in the way or not of yen depreciation.
Absolutely, and a lot of people think that is absolutely vital.
Right. This is the key thing.
Yeah.
So what could be important to look at next week are some of the data coming out. There's industrial production, retail sales, inflation, and unemployment. So taking all this in.
A good lump of data there. They'll give you some sort of profile of what activity is like in Japan, I should imagine. Now, Andrea, let's end on the corporate
I know, it seems quite trite doing so, doesn't it, after the week that we've had. However, we do have some good ones to focus on. We've got Bellway, which is a house builder. It's got some interim results. It's going to be interesting because of the budget report earlier in the week. And
that's the UK budget report.
UK budget report, thank you. And basically the government's looking to support buyers.
George Osborne, the Chancellor, basically out there trying to stimulate the housing market to get consumer confidence up, and the UK economy
house building stocks have had a great run, and they went even further higher following the budget report. In terms of Bellway specifically, we're going to be looking at the new CEO and strategy going forward.
And
another one is Kingfisher. So Kingfisher, we know in the UK certainly from the B&Q stores, they're like DIY type stores. Looking for a recovery. Is France going to recover?
And this week we had some good retail sales out of the UK, not out of France, but out of the UK.
Yes, we did. But the Kingfisher does have exposure in France, so we need to have an update on that. B&Q has had a horrible time of things. We need to know what's going to happen there. We need to know about reduction of capex as well at Kingfisher. Look, there's going to be a lot to focus on.
Off she goes.
Excuse me.
Andrea, Sara, that's all we have time for. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick.